Hey everybody, welcome back. Yes, this may look a little bit familiar. It is another Super Pershing battle, and on the one hand, I apologize for bringing you guys two Super Pershing battles in a row, 2 weeks in a row, but if you watch this entire one all the way through, I think you'll find it worth the time. So the other thing you're going to notice is the beginning part is from a replay, because this battle actually took a full 30 minutes, and I can only shadow play 20 minutes, and I just never had a really good chance during the battle to do a shadow play, a DVR shadow play before I ran out of, before it ran back 20 minutes, and I honestly didn't think the battle had gone that long until it was over, and I went and looked at the DVR that I did take, and it was missing the first 10 minutes of the battle almost. So I did end up getting it was around the first 10 minutes. I cut some of it out, the travel time, until I got to this first position, of course. And went back and did that through the replay system. And something else you'll notice is that I didn't hide the HUD. Well, I wanted to, but hide the HUD is Alt and Z put together. And NVIDIA's new update for the GeForce experience, Alt and Z brings up the UI for shadow play and is overriding the Alt and Z combination for War Thunder to hide the HUD in the replay system. So I couldn't hide the HUD. So my apologies. You can't change any of the controls in the NVIDIA's shadow play settings, and I don't believe you can do it in War Thunder's replay system either, but if you can, I couldn't find it. I also didn't look very hard. At any rate, one thing you'll notice here is that obviously in the replay you can see where all the enemies are. I just try to bear that in mind when you see me missing guys here, that I couldn't see where they were in the actual gameplay battle. So I could see a guy there, I missed him, and when I go to track him down and shoot at him again, and I shoot near where he is but don't actually hit him, it's because I couldn't see him behind all the trees. So I didn't want to turn off all the markers either, just because then you can't see where friendlies are. So even this guy, I hit him and knocked out his transmission, and I couldn't tell that he rolled quite a fair bit forward. So when I fire at him again here for a follow-up shot, because I knew I had hit his transmission, I couldn't see where he was. So I shot at the Whirlwind that I could see and missed him. Now one thing you will notice off to the far left there, not the T-92 right in front of me, who's actually getting engaged in the battle, but way off to the southwest of me, in the C5 square there, over there to the left, is a T-92 from our team who is obviously going straight for the spawn with no other intentions whatsoever. And I had typed to him a couple times and told him, hey, get out of here, go try to help us capture the B point, go for the objective, don't just go for their spawn. We actually need you to help us capture the objectives here. Because this battle was certainly anybody's for the taking up to, right up, I mean, you'll see, it's a battle right up to the very, very, very end of the whole thing. But no. He went in for the spawn rape, and he stayed for the spawn rape until he finally got killed, and you'll see it. I think right about here is where I was telling him go in and capture the B point instead of heading that way, but he probably didn't understand English. Judging by his name, he probably spoke Russian only. Now this guy, whereas I am not trying to go in and rape their spawn, but this guy's coming out of it and gonna drive right to me. I can't wait for him to come after me. And I am trying to get to B here. I couldn't really do much about it. I had to shoot at him. I love that ricochet right off the top of his barrel mantlet. I thought I was going to be dead for sure. But apparently the 75 on the old Panthers is not quite as good as the 88 on the Panther 2s and doesn't destroy the Super Pershing in one shot. So there's my first kill. And now here, this may seem a bit counterintuitive, but I do actually rape this guy out of the spawn to prevent my teammate from doing it to him. Mostly just to deny my teammate from the kill there, because just to be kind of a jerk to my teammate. Just also to stop him so he doesn't get rewarded for going in and just spawn raping. So yes, it may not necessarily be intuitive, but I killed a guy within their spawn to prevent my teammate from killing a guy within their spawn. And then happened upon this juicy target right here that somehow didn't hear me or all the shooting that I was doing. Was a real player. Did a lot of turret damage to him. Next move, shoot him in the engine, start a fire, because he'll have to deal with that at some point. Basically, as long as you don't get hit by one of his teammates at this point, you've got him if you start a fire. As long as you don't take another hit that disables your gun or something, you're pretty much got it. So I can hear the German machine gun firing off to my right. Decide, well, I better finish this guy off. Then I turn and see the Panther II, who must see me at one point because he makes a hard turn and comes right back at me. Managed to get a pretty darn good and pretty darn lucky shot into his turret. Oh, by the way, I am capturing their point now, by the way. I'm inside. I've been inside the capture point since before I was shooting that Panther that I just killed. I was definitely lucky to have knocked out most of the turret crew on that Panther too, and then able to get a kill shot on him. So I have been actually capturing their point. I had to deal with the Panthers there, obviously, or I wasn't going to be able to capture. So my teammate inside their spawn has now got 3 kills. The other team is typing and complaining about it, and obviously I feel they're completely justified in it, and I'm typing back to them that I'm trying to tell him to get out of your spawn, but obviously he's not going to listen. And I guess he doesn't have to, because it's not technically against the rules. I just think it's extremely poor gameplay. I have done it on occasion, but it's usually when the enemy team was doing it to us at the beginning, and then we're somehow able to turn it around. So instead, I decided to shoot the trees down in front of him and knock down some vision blockers in front of him to try and encourage him to stop raping their spawn and maybe come help our team. And I couldn't see the Stir Emil that's right there because of the sun in my face and because I was concentrating on the trees I was shooting at. But when he turned and started moving forward, I do actually see him. I actually didn't see him during the battle, but he was busy watching for the rest of our team for trying to rape their spawn. Now, I thought that the fire had knocked out more on his tank than it really had and tried to drive forward and get another shot in to finish him, which was obviously a very big mistake because he may have been on fire, but it wasn't enough to stop him. So here's where we pick up. It just conveniently, the live replay went all the way back to when I respawned in my M46. So we'll pick up the M46, and all the rest of the chat and everything else from here is live as it happened during the game, though I am narrating the whole thing after the fact. So I'd picked up 4 kills and an assist and started capping with my Super Pershing. And I will usually, if somebody is just going in and spawn camping, especially if they go in the spawn and they only go for the spawn cap from the start, regardless of what team they're on, I'll report them for passive gameplay. It may not do anything. I'm sure it doesn't do anything because I'm pretty sure they don't take any of the reports and even look at them anymore. But I'm at least reporting them because that's what the report function is for. And I look at not going after the actual capture and playing the objectives as passive gameplay because you're not helping your team. It's no different than just running away in a bomber for hours and hours and hours and climbing and climbing and climbing. Which does actually help your team if you're trying to wait out the clock and win by tickets. But that's an entirely different story. So there was some AAA that had just been highlighted up here, and I'm searching for it, but I don't see it and I don't hear it, and it's not shooting at anything or shooting at me. We do have air assets overhead, and he's not shooting at them, so I'm not exactly sure what happened with the AAA. So I know that the Stir Emil is still around here somewhere, because after he'd killed me, he'd come back in and started taking the point over. And the F8F1 was able to shoot his crew out of his open top turretless, open top tank destroyer, rather. And then I'm capturing again. This battle seems like it's just about over, but it's basically only halfway, which is kind of amazing. In fact, at this point, it's only about a third of the way done. This battle took a really long time, which is part of what made it pretty pretty eligible for uploading. So there's obviously a bit of fighting going on back at our cap. Most of our team has been knocked out, and most of their team is down pretty far, too. Our spawn raper on our team is now just camping out in our spawn in a T-29, not really moving.
Thank you very much.
We do have another guy on our team in a heavy tank who will end up being one of the last 2 players left alive with me. And yes, I definitely fired into their spawn, but I did it from the capture point, which is a fine enough distinction for me for shooting into somebody's spawn. If you're doing it from the capture point, then you're also capturing the objective. So there's the difference I look at there. Now something from the enemy team was up on that hill, and I didn't have a good enough chance to get a shot at it. I tried to light him up with machine guns and spot him out for the team, didn't get him. Back up here to try and get a better look at him. And a very, very, very low-flying Arado B model dropped bombs on me, which was fine that there was no sound because he dropped them from extremely low, so there shouldn't have been a whistling bomb. But there probably should have been some kind of sound when they hit the ground right next to me. But whatever. At any rate, I debated coming back in my Skyraider or my B-29. Ultimately decided on the B-29 because we had some friendly fighters up and I thought I could get some cover. Plus 8 2,000-pound bombs is a pretty darn good way to light up some terrain pretty well. I didn't really have a target on those bombs, more just carpet bombing and hoping to pick somebody off from up in those trees. Plus I knew where the one enemy had been up there somewhere, and that's what I was trying to hopefully either screen out from shooting at our guys or possibly damage him enough to mark him, hit him with a bomb or something with some shrapnel and maybe mark him out, or, you know, hopefully kill him, but no such luck.
A little more effort and victory will be ours.
And of course, he kills one of our T-29s. That's the one actually capping the point, and I never saw where the shot came from, so I still don't know where he is. This part will get a little bit boring because I'm making a few circuits back and forth in my B-29, although it will get exciting before too long. But don't skip too far ahead because there's a point where I accidentally pull a hammerhead or a cobra or whatever you want to call it in the B-29, and it was totally by accident and totally hilarious. So I still don't see where the enemy is, but I'm gonna at least use one of my 2 bombs I have left to deforest that entire section of the map there to at least keep him from being able to hide in those trees, if that was where he was hiding. Obviously he wasn't hiding in there, or that probably should have at least damaged him if not killed him. But at any rate, I took a whole lot of hiding place away from him there. Now that doesn't really help me too much. It helps me a little bit, but it'd be much easier, much more helpful if somebody was able to hit him with gunfire and mark him for me, but I understand he probably couldn't see the guy. I was probably just marking a general area anyways. So I can hear what's most likely an enemy close behind me. And sure enough, the engine sound gives them away. Manual gunner time. Come and get some, pal.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Got his pilot. Unfortunately, he made me completely overfly my drop zone there, so I missed any chance I had of seeing the T-44 fire and possibly drop a bomb on him. So we'll have to come around again. And this should be where the hammerhead accidentally happened, I believe. The Cobra, whatever you want to call it. Kind of hilarious. Completely accidental, but kind of funny. Now again, I'm just making the slowest pass I possibly can here to try and watch for the T-44 moving or the T-44 shooting or anything towards our guys, and then finally I can see that he's in the middle of the town shooting at our friendly. I can see that in the replay, but in the actual gameplay I didn't see it. I just heard the shot and was looking out in the open, the last place I had known him to be. And there he is, taken out. Our T-29 did end up getting him. So we'll circle back around and make another pass back over the battlefield. Still got one bomb. There's actually two alive. The guy that he killed has enough points to spawn back in again, so it's not just the one.
Just keep it up, and victory will be ours.
So again, just making a low, slow pass with my one bomb left, hoping to put it to some good use instead of just spam it somewhere.
Cover me!
So right here is where I noticed it was two guys left alive when I checked the score there instead of just the one. So I see the one airplane, and I still think that it's probably both airplanes and we're safe to cap and we should have the battle won here. It's not the case. And I gotta say, does the I-185 have BS bombs or what? Because I've never seen one not kill something that has dropped bombs on. And the bombs are not that big in the I-185. For instance, wait till you see my Skyraider bomb drop coming up after I finally get finished in my B-29. So my apologies to our guy on the cap there who got bombed out by the I-185 because he still should have been safe to cap.
Just a little more effort, and victory will surely be ours.
When we told him to go ahead and cap because they're just planes, he still should have been okay to do so, but the I-185 has got ridiculous bomb power that the rest of the strike planes don't have. So I'm hoping that the I-185 is going to come chase me down now and fight me, which is why I thought I thought he was coming closer slowly, and or waiting for me to die out. So I've slowed my engines down to try and cool them so I can stay airborne and fly nice and level for him to come and attack. and you can't really see him anymore, but there he is. I finally realized that he's not actually coming in this way, he's heading away, so plane is still relatively controllable. Although keep your eyes on the ailerons. Even though the ailerons show no damage whatsoever on the damage indicator, the ailerons are not operating properly. And the ailerons, when they get damaged but don't show, they act like you have a bunch of packet loss, which you'll kind of see the plane looking like it's got packet loss, and the controls feel like it too. You should see it right here. The way that the plane is jerking like that, it looks like there's packet loss happening. That's my ailerons freaking out. And you'll see the ailerons moving. It looks like there's packet loss or frame drop, but there's not. It could also be the instructor interfering with what I'm trying to do. I'm not entirely sure, but at any rate, it gets really annoying because the plane is fighting against you and there's no obvious damage, or indicated damage even, on the damage indicator. And it eventually cost me my B-29 because of the way the ailerons are fighting me.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
So we do have a pretty decent ticket lead here, which does help. And the battle is taking much longer than I anticipated it was going to. My plane starts drifting while I'm looking, and then I get shot at by the tank, and I can actually see where he is here on the map when he's shooting at me. So I'm rolling the plane over, and then the plane just continues rolling and won't roll back over to the left at all. Get the bomb off at the last second, just hoping somehow that the bomb blast is going to light him up so my guy can see where he is, but to no effect. I did at least see where he was, and I could see that he was a Tiger too, so I was able to at least type it out to our guy left there and let him know where he was and where he was roughly heading. And like I said in last week's video, still my favorite skin ever. And the Tiger II gets our Sherman, and I was sure at that point that the battle was over, and it was only going to be me left in my Skyraider against at least one enemy fighter and a Tiger. I know I can deal with the Tiger. But I don't know about an I-185, which I thought I saw here, and then I lost him, so I'm not sure where he actually was. Just waiting to spot him up where I saw him coming from, and then I see him moving. Pretty easy lineup, nice good side shot for my entire rocket attack here. Don't get anything, punch the bombs off. And of course, no damage to the Tiger whatsoever, but blow the wings completely off my own tank, or airplane. Two 1,000-pound bombs and a single 2,000-pound bomb, all dropped well within what should have been killing distance for a crippled and disabled Tiger II, but not even a hit. So it's just our poor M18 left. I'm all out of spawn points. He's in a pretty good spot, but he's got a fighter coming out that could spot him and light him up for the Tiger II, which is pretty darn dangerous. I thought we had lost at this point. So a little bit of back and forth here, and I didn't notice, of course, because I was typing to the guy on the other team, how little time was actually left in the battle. If you look in the upper left, you can actually see we've got some great potential to pull this victory off if we just stay alive. Or if he just stays alive, because he's all that's left. as I have been crashed out twice. So my apologies for not giving you guys a better camera angle here. I was a little upset about the bombs and rockets entire bomb and rocket load that I dropped on that Tiger II not killing him. So I was only half paying attention to what was going on in the background with the M18. Because I really, honestly, had given the battle up for lost. However, the M18 was able to hide out and get an ambush on the Tiger. Get a real good shot on the Tiger right there. Although I thought it was going to be over right here, too. I thought for sure the Tiger was going to blast him one. And I had enough points to respawn there because after he killed the Tiger, I got an assist. But I wasn't actually paying attention to it, and there were only 30 seconds left anyway. "15 seconds to go. Race, M18, race." "5 seconds to go, and we've actually got a ticket lead. We're going to pull off the victory." Amazing. I completely did not expect this kind of a score either, which was ultimately the reason why I decided to keep the battle and make it into a video. 87,000 lines in a tank battle with 6.7 Americans. That's pretty nuts. So 5 tank kills, 2 aircraft, 2 assists, and 4 deaths, and a second place there. Not bad. Very good work from the top 3 or 4 players on our team there. There's everything you can see, all the score and everything, and here's all the awards I got. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, subscribe if you hadn't, check out all the social media links at the description, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot for checking it out.